Right, on with the cover today. I've just got an A4 piece of card. This is about 200 maybe. It's quite thin, but I'm having fabric on the inside and the outside. My journal. So the only fabric I had that sort of had pink in it, but it's not pink, it's like a very light red, is this one. So I thought I would use that. I'm just making sure that's big enough. Sometimes I leave it all frayed, so it's quite thick, that bit. No, that's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so I cut a piece that's, you know, a bit bigger. Okay, and we will fold this one over. Okay, I'm going to put this on with a glue stick. Okay, but on the inside I will stick with glue. All right, just that it does hold it in place quite well, actually. Just because I don't want all glue over it, so, and it doesn't notice, but it does hold it down enough. I quite like the stripes going downwards, but I just had a small piece of this, so I cut it to, you know, how it'd fit in really and get two out of it. So it's quite good having things with lines on, because you can line things up, which is pretty good when you're starting out. So I'm gonna just move that a little bit there. That's better. So I can line that up on that line, you see? Right. So don't even need to iron it. All right, what I'm going to do is put glue on the corners. Yeah, I'd usually like a tiny bit more than that. Okay, but I was a bit worried about this being too thick, so I thought, oh, I had better put it over in case it is too thick. Then I'll cut that off. But yeah, it's just all I had left of that. Okay. I mean, you don't, on my other one, I left this and frayed it. Okay, I've frayed the inside and the outside. But, you know, this one, I'm just going to do it to make it easy, because this is an easy way. Right, so we're going to mitre the corner. And I know this is a lot, people do get this wrong quite a lot. I used to as well. I go into about a couple of mil to that corner. Okay, and then instead of cutting straight across there, I sort of angle a little bit like that. And I'm using 3-in-1. That's not Fabri-Tac, so Fabri-Tac is, yes, better for fabric for sure. But I'm okay. I sort of got used to it, really, not to put too much on. And this gives quite a flexible journal, you know, cover, but I quite like that feel of it. So it's a nice edge there, isn't there? I sort of like look at it and think, oh, I didn't want to put that inside. I love it all raggedy at the ends. So here, some people tuck the corner in here. Don't know, I've got anything here. I've got this. But I've never been that successful with it. I think they tend to sort of poke that in and then fold it over. But I just sort of squish it in the glue so, and cut off what's left. Think, oh, if there's holes, just use those corner things. That's what I do. And you wouldn't know. I mean, that's the whole point of these sort of junk journals, really, isn't it? So that, you know, we get away from perfection. Mini albums, yes, they need to be neat, you know. So I had years of doing those. So it's actually, like I've said before, so refreshing doing this, because do you know what? Just stitching in straight, things in straight. Do you know what? Embrace it. Go for it. So I just tend to just sort of, I don't even know whether you can see that. I just stuck my finger in the glue now. I just sort of bend that in a bit. Okay, so yeah, easy. Because it's being protected, you've got quite a good cover on the actual journal itself as well, and you've got this cover, and it's going in a bag, you know. So do we want a really hard cover? No. Right, and this is calico. I love calico, I will say, and I also use quite a lot of cotton, and I also like the thick, you know, upholstery material as well, but I do a different sort of journal cover with that one. So this is more delicate today. The calico is very cheap. So let's have a look. I think that was quite a lot bigger than it's supposed to be. So I know it's going the other way, but I'll just check in this for the size. I can't see the other way. Okay. I tend to sort of butt it up to the corner. Let's have a look. I might actually just stick it down first, and then those we can, yeah, because I can leave just a bit there, and then I can cut that edge, can't I? Yeah, I'm going to do that. So on the fabric, I will use glue. Okay. And I'm going right to the edge and over, okay? And now you can cut a piece and it sits in that, and then you've got a lovely edge, okay? But I'm not doing it that way because I do want a little bit of, you know, fluff around the outside. What you would normally do, I mean, you can even actually put, you don't have to put fabric on the inside of this. You can put a piece of card now and then cut it to size. But I, you know, because you've got fabric on the outside, you don't have to worry about the spine so much, you know. Okay, now I do tend to like to rip, but I've noticed this calico is slightly off, so I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to cut it. Okay. Right, so I'm going to stitch around mine now. That's fine. We can always level that up after, so that's fine. That's not too bad. Sometimes I'll fray it and then I'll give it a trim. And here we go. Okay, and this is going to be covered with paper inside, so yeah, and then I go along and fray now. It's been stitched down, yeah. A little bit too much up here, but it's a lovely warm cardigan, so I'm keeping it on. Right, if it pulls okay there, sometimes that happens. All right, you just, what you do, you just trim that, you trim down, okay, because what it is, sometimes things are not quite lined up when you put them on. Okay, and that little bit might go a bit lower. Okay, just trim it and make it look like it is all the same. I think I will take a bit more off here. And that's nicely frayed all the way around. There's a little bit more here, look. So let's take that off. Okay, see, we've got resistance, so you leave that and trim. All right, lovely. So that's that done. Right, so now the inside, that's dry now. Let's see that once that's dry. Okay. Get the crease there, but do you know what? The paper cover it. Right, so I've cut two pieces, 5 1/4, because that's the size of my journal. Okay, and this is my allowance for my spine. All right, my pages I didn't have to trim top and bottom because it was fine. Okay, slightly, because I'd already trimmed it because it was a printout. It gives me a nice border. So 5 1/4 on both sides. I'm going to ink around. You can stick these in straight away, or you can sew your pockets on if you want to do that, which I am. Okay, because I might not stitch around mine again. Sometimes I do, you know, just if that's the case, I just use a very light thread that you can't really see, you know. So, and this is printed onto about 180 card. One of the backgrounds from the kit. Yeah, I ran out of yellow toner, so I quickly ordered that. I think it's coming tomorrow, so which will be Sunday tomorrow. So that's good. I didn't have any spare. Okay, so we go on with the pocket. I mean, I cut a sheet in half normally. Okay, and then what I do is I just get the ruler and I go from the top and I go there and cut that corner off, and then keep that because that can be a pocket for later on in the journal. So that's all I've done there. Okay, and I lined mine because again mine was thin paper. Okay, I just learned with a book page. All right, I just back it and then fold that over, so I've got double thickness on this bit here. Okay, and then I just glue that down. So that, and then that's going to sit there. Okay, but we need to stitch along there first. Yeah, and also I thought there's a bit bare here. Not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I thought I would put a little pocket, stitch that on before I stitch this pocket on. Okay, and it'll just be, oh, might come down a bit actually to about there. That was a bit high. Okay, and we can always put a bit of lace down here and stuff. All right, but I don't really want to cover this up because that's quite pretty. But I thought here we could do a little embellishment, and then a couple of tickets or something could stick out of there. So first thing I'm going to do, stitch along there, stitch there. Then I'm going to stick this pocket in. Okay, there, and then I'm going to put this, okay, onto there and stitch around that. Okay, and that's really my pocket done, and then this will be glued in. All right. Okay, I stitched mine in because you can hardly see the stitching, and I don't mind that anyway. You know, time I cover that with what I'm going to do on the front there. Okay, so all I'm going to do to the back one now is just stick it in. Okay, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It may probably be a big envelope or something like that. So I shall stick that down and stitch around that as well. So I'll just glue down the middle. Okay, so I can get on and stitch straight away. And there we go. Okay, it's that easy really. You've got quite a nice thick cover now. Yeah, so that's that. This is going to be that one in there, so it fits perfectly in that A4, you see. Right, okay, front cover. Let's have a look. Right, what are we going to do? I sort of chose, I don't want to flatten that too much. I want it slightly curved, but that'll be all right, like that. Okay, I think I'm going to do that one on there. Okay, right, I've got a few bits and pieces here. What have I got? Okay, I'm not sure which one to use of that. Have I got a bit cut here? Oh, I think that's too narrow. Oh, there's a bit here. Okay, right, what have I got? There we go. Okay, so that's going to sort of go there. Right, I'm going to back this, okay, because it's only on flimsy sort of, you know, 200 GSM, that one. So I'm going to back that on something firm, like some coffee stained paper, just to give it a bit of substance for the cover. Yeah, I sort of thought, oh gosh, I haven't even got anything sort of embellishment wise to go, unless I go with, you know, flowers, non-Christmas, pink Christmas. I just haven't got, you know, in embellishments and things like that. So, which is quite good because that means I have to work with what I've got. So that's why I've used like the wedding dress appliques, because I think, yeah, it's slightly glittery, you know, it's fun. So, right, so that will be stitched around eventually and inked, of course. Okay. Maybe a corner on there. Might put a corner on. That can always look nice. So that's sort of going to go on there. Okay, right, let's have a look. So about there, I think. And here, all right, I've got a doily. Okay, so I'm going to use that like this, but I'm gonna oh, there we go, cut that up. Yeah, that will work. Okay, I'm gonna do this first. All right, I'll show you what I do with things like this. Okay, because it's at the moment it's all separate. Yeah, I won't be able to stitch along that, but a little bit of hand sewing to keep that down if it, you know, flips up a bit. What I'm going to do here, just straighten that bit up, just a little bit there. Okay, so I'm going to put a bit of lace on here. Okay, so I'll just dot that around just a bit where I can pick it up. Okay, and I will also glue this as well. Okay, but I will stitch this on, but it's just a little bit. Okay. Don't want it all the way, so let's cut that off. I'm just going to check where that is a minute. Okay, just be careful. Yeah, I like that. Okay, right, so I'm going to stitch along there. Okay, right, so that's stitched along. Yeah, that catches that then. Right, so what I need to do now is figure out where everything else is going. Okay, so I've just got to do a little bit of stitching. Okay, that's sort of, you know, coming round like so. I might put that there, like that. I might have to take those off, I see, because this bit was cut off from something else I was doing, so I've got all these here to use up. Yep, no, that's fine. So what I will do here, should I take that off? That's about right. Okay, together. Okay, I'm going to glue this down. I won't do those last few flowers because I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to stitch the top down a little bit so it lies nice and flat, and also catch some of those beads if they're a bit loose. Yes, I'm just going to catch that there if I can get hold of my needle. Should have been white thread really, but I didn't have any around here. So I just used what I had, but you don't see it anyway. Right, okay, there we go. And that's stabilised them. All right. So what I'm going to do is stick that to that. Just in the middle, because I'm going to stitch around. That's coming up. Okay, I can't remember what I'd just done then. Oh yeah, stitched around there, and I thought, oh, I must seal this because it'll be hard to seal. Okay, you can do it with Mod Podge or whatever you want to do. I've got some acrylic wax here that was just handy, so I'm going to use that. Okay. It just gives it a bit of protection. Sometimes you have to re-glitter, but I think I'm going to be all right. Sometimes it spreads it around a bit more, which I might quite like as well. So I'll just protect that. Mine's not too bad because it's laser printed, but I still like it to be protected a little bit. Okay, this is very fast drying, so yeah, I'll just check. Yep. People do ask from America what this is. I get it from Art Van Gogh. Okay, now it's used on paintings, acrylic paintings and things like that. So it might be called something else in your country perhaps. Okay, but there's got to be something similar because it's in art shops for people that paint acrylic and then they want to seal it. So, right, I can dry that off actually. And then we can get on. Okay, so I dried that off and we get the cover now. So I'm going to most probably place that about there, I think. Let's have a look. Oh, I did cut the bottom ones off. Okay, and I will show you that I'm going to actually add it to that top there. So I just want that to catch sort of there so we can see all that, if you know what I mean. I'll just lay that gently. Okay. Right, where is this? Let's have a look. And I might, you know, when I'm finishing off and that, I might find some other things, you know, some bits and pieces that might go with this. So I think that looks quite nice. Yep, it's not too bad here because I've got that other flower there as well. So put some on there. put that down in a minute. So here. Just leave that there for a minute. And then I thought that bit that I cut off could go there. Okay, right, now I've got to leave that alone really, and Christmas, don't know whether I've got any more of those. We'll see. I'll have a little look. Okay, found one and I just mounted it. Okay, onto a bit of card. And this will come out a lot more once this journal, got the stuff in the journal. So because at the moment it's quite pointy, that'll come out sort of quite rounded there, like that. So right, okay, well that's the cover done. So all we've got to do now is stitch the journals in. But I'm going to check to see if I've got any like printed sort of I might put some music sheets in, but printed ones. So I might print a few of them out. I think I've got a set, but I have to do that on my other printer. So just to I might, you know, just to break up a bit more of this. Right, okay, well that's not bad considering I didn't have much to play with. So these appliques have come in brilliantly for Christmas, so great. Okay, well I think that'll be it for this video, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.